All right, well, we are back with another episode of Voices for Good. I'm Michael. Today we're sitting down. We are talking about disabilities. We're talking about independence. We are talking about making dreams happen. And today we're sitting down with Matt Rizer of Goodwill Easter Seals Miami Valley's IT department. How's it going, Matt?
It's going great.
Good.
Every day's really exciting in IT.
I imagine you guys keep pretty busy around here.
Yes, and now that we're moving from Kronos and we're putting in new credit card readers, it's just, like I said, there's just been a lot going on, a lot of calls. We got a new store opening up in Moraine, and last week I went with the guys over to the store and set up the manager's PC along with the break room PC, while the other techs put in the point of sale machines. So we keep busy.
Yeah, it sounds like it. And so I want to talk a little bit, like, how did you first get involved with IT? How did you first get involved with Goodwill Easter Seals? How'd that happen?
Well, I just really got involved in IT in high school because I discovered there was a career tech prep program where I could essentially start my college education in high school. And I would accumulate credits while taking this IT class in high school. And these articulation credits would transfer to Sinclair. I also ended up taking, actually with the class, we went down on a school bus to the campus and we took a class. This is going to be considered a throwback for many. The class was Windows 2000 Professional.
Oh, yeah.
So we did that, and then I decided that's the path I wanted to take. That's what I wanted to do.
Gotcha. And I understand there were some challenges growing up. There were some challenges like kind of getting into IT and some hurdles you had to overcome. Do you care to tell me a little bit about those?
Yeah, of course. So in high school and in college, I had uncontrolled epilepsy. So I would have frequent seizures in class, which would interrupt my learning. It would slow down my day, so it may be difficult for me to just get back in the groove of things. I was on a lot of medicine, much more than I am now. And because of all that medicine, doctors basically, what's the word? They diagnosed me with something that is considered to be cognitive learning disability, which and I can elaborate on that. What that basically means is I'm really smart, but because of being on all this medicine, it's just a whole lot more difficult for me to wrap my head around things that other people can latch on to in an instant. So I need more coaching, more instruction sometimes.
Now, were you getting that in high school? Like, were
I
you getting that
was.
sort of extra instruction and time with things, or was that?
I was on an
hard to
IP, and so yes, I was, and I had some really amazing teachers. When I got to college, there was a lot of networking that happened. I talked to a lot of people to try and figure out. I mean, you know how it goes. Some people say, "Oh yeah, this teacher's amazing. You have to take the section with this professor," and just the opposite. So, but I managed to find a lot of amazing professors that really got me on the path to success, and Believe it or not, my customer service concepts professor was also my boss because I worked in the college computer lab
Oh.
as a IT assistant. So we'd get people of all kinds of backgrounds, high school students, college students, golden age students, meaning people that were age 68 plus, and they may not, as a matter of fact, they didn't exactly understand how to use things like a PC scanner or a um, a digital camera. So I would have to explain to them in the very simplest way uh, what it was, how it functioned, and uh, so I did that in college,
Yeah.
and man, it was enjoyable.
Good. So tell me a little bit about how you first got plugged in here at Goodwill Easter Seals, because I know you didn't start in IT, but how did you first like get introduced and start getting plugged in here?
Okay, well, in 2015, I began by volunteering here. My dad's boss at the time, Bryce Nickel, whose name is on our thank you for building Independence wall in the main lobby.
Yeah.
He said something to my dad, you really ought to check out the new Goodwill building. And he did, and I did. And so I started volunteering with Kevin Leonard and Diana Leonard in the assistive technology service. And at the assistive technology service, we would basically check out or make available things like iPads for people that uh, needed devices, things to help them learn um, or be able to understand concepts better.
Yeah.
I remember once I found a app that was it was a web browser for individuals with autism,
Okay.
and so we put it on the iPad, and we just basically made it available.
That's so. I don't know if you can elaborate on that a little bit. What is a web browser like designed for folks with autism?
Actually, I neither remember the name of the app uh, or really what its interface was,
Sure.
how but if anybody looks in the app store and searches web browser for autism, they will they will get a populated search and lots of choices.
That's cool though, because I imagine there's a lot of people that don't know that sort of thing exists, and so I imagine that's a good resource for it.
Yeah, and there is, I guarantee, a app for just about everything these days.
Yeah, and I know I've seen that a little bit as we've worked with folks in like the vision services department, like seeing the ways in which you can use a smartphone to help someone that has a visual impairment, the sort of apps and other technology that's out there for that sort of a disability. Like it's really impressive how far we've come in being able to
It really
assist
is.
people in overcoming some of those barriers. So that's really, really cool. So then how did you go from being a volunteer to then getting involved with the IT department?
Well, again, I networked with people, and uh, the more people I knew, the more people I think were, just kind of, eventually they just started thinking to themselves, hey, he might be a good fit for this. And so I ended up talking with Renee, one of the people that worked here with us at Goodwill. And so I started in business services and worked at the Woodman warehouse, where I was a computer recycling technician. And that was a very interesting job because I saw just about every type of computer you could think of. Uh, um,
So what all do you do in that recycling program there with the computers? Like, what all does that entail?
Basically, all it is, it for me, it meant taking everything apart, everything people donated, from Gateway 2000s to uh, a computer with a Intel Pentium 3, uh, and then the latest. So, but then again, I didn't actually take apart computers with the latest and greatest. Uh, we put those aside and then we refurbish them and we sell them in our Goodwill stores.
That's awesome. I like the idea of like giving new purpose, to some of these older items and giving them a second life, so to speak. Rather than just throwing them out. I know there's a big issue with e-waste these days. So that's really cool. So then from the warehouse,
Then
yeah.
From the warehouse, I got in touch with the Goodwill Heart program when we launched that. And
So for those that don't know, can you tell us a little bit about what the Heart program is, or
oh,
introduce
of course. So the Heart program, I believe it stands for Helping Employees Achieve Triumphs. And so I contacted Amanda, who works or oversees the Heart program, and basically told her what I'd been working towards. And so we talked about it. We sat down and talked about it, and and we would do this over like maybe over 4 weeks or something. We'd meet again and we'd basically discuss where I was at now as opposed to 4 weeks ago, what my plans were, what I was doing to better myself to get to this point of working in IT. I continued to network and stay in touch with people, professionals that I know. And then a position to open up here on Main Street, and I applied for it. I am now an IT specialist working in the IT department.
Well, congrats. Yeah.
Thank you.
And I know I've heard a lot of good things about the work you've been doing around here. So are you hoping to stay in IT like the long term, or is this like a stepping stone? Like, what's your
Definitely.
career
I
path
definitely want to stay in IT long term.
at Goodwill Easter Sales specifically, or
Absolutely.
abroad? Awesome. It's encouraging to hear your story and how you've overcome things, and just step by step getting to where you want to be and working in the position you're in now, which, as I understand, is a dream you wanted to get to. So
Yes, very much so.
Yeah. So that's Matt's story. Matt, again, we appreciate you joining us today on the podcast. Shameless plug here before we go. If you appreciate the decor and the outfits you see in the background, this is all just decor provided by our Goodwill stores. So if you like what you see, get out and visit your local Goodwill retail store, pick up some items and decorate your home with those, or dress yourself in some nice Goodwill fashion. So thank you again for joining us. Be sure to tune in next time, and we'll see you then.